Hello, hello. Hope you all are doing well. Um, Welcome to another week of English 112. So first, outstanding business. I'm still working on grading your science writing projects. As many of you know, I am recording everything, grading everything in the order that it was received. It's just taking me a little while. I'm trying to make sure that I keep people moving forward on assignments and that I'm giving everybody the feedback that they need. So I will have the rest of them done this week, working on them over the course of the week and getting them back to you as soon as I can. So we're getting into social science writing, and for the social science unit, you can choose between an observation report and a study proposal. So for the observation report, you will be carrying out your own observation. For the study proposal, you'll be designing a study. So choosing between these two, it can depend on your area of interest. It can depend on what you're comfortable doing. I know a lot of people don't want to be out and about right now, and I totally understand that. I'm one of those people who's avoiding being out and about as much as I can. And you can design an observation. I've heard from several of you over some really cool ideas you have about things that you can go to observe. Now, social sciences are focused on people's behaviors, people's interactions. So sorry I didn't mute everything before I got started here. And these interactions you will be observing if you carry out your observation report, or you can create a study to observe how people interact, behave, etc. I have heard from a couple of you who are going to do things a little bit differently. So you found a way to observe something out a little bit outside of the social sciences, but it will still work. That said, if you have an idea and you don't know if it will fit, talk to me. I did give feedback on all of the journals that had come in by the deadline yesterday, to make sure that people are on their way to picking out a topic. If you don't have anything in mind yet, please talk to me. Email me, set up a time to meet, drop into virtual office hours, whatever works. I want to make sure that this coming week you have an idea and you're getting started on your literature review. Which brings you to your next question. Ms. Webb, what is a literature review? A literature review is an overview of the research currently out there on your topic. So if you look at science articles, if you look at published peer review articles, you're going to see some pieces in all of these. There will be an abstract, which is that summary at the top that lets you know if this is what you're looking for. And there will be usually a literature review in the introductory section that gives some background on the topic that is being studied. So a literature review is not just a summary of each source. It's not an annotated bibliography. A literature review looks at where the sources you found come together on topics, where they diverge on topics, and where there are any gaps in the research. You have the synthesis review matrix tool from NC State on our course site. You're welcome to use that to organize the information for your literature review. The literature review will be written in paragraph form. You're going to submit it as its own assignment, so like basically a short essay, and then the literature review will be incorporated into the introduction of your observation report or your study proposal. So you get to use this assignment twice. So when I get your literature review, I will of course give you feedback on it, check your citations, all that good stuff, and then you will incorporate it, or at least parts of it, into the introduction of that report. So you get double duty out of this assignment. So right now, you should be, first of all, figuring out what your topic is going to be, and then the next piece will be starting to do that research. So what does this look like? For example, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, I had a student last semester when we had the statewide mask mandate who wanted to observe how compliant different groups of people were with masking. So he set up a time to go sit outside a grocery store, and he logged the numbers of people who wore masks and who didn't, and what their demographics were. The demographic piece can be kind of tricky because it can be hard to estimate ages. You can, generally tells some things about people, but not everything. So there's definitely a margin of error there. But that was a really neat project. So to do his research before he carried out this observation, he researched compliance behaviors, who's most likely to follow rules and follow guidelines, and how does that play out, and looked at some other studies. So I hope that helps you kind of think about how to go about your research. There is a video from that Miss O'Connor did for our class last year in our course that talks about doing research for a literature review, so hopefully that will be helpful. If you need help finding sources, you can ask me, certainly, but the librarians are amazing. Miss O'Connor can help you, or the on-call librarian if you use the library chat, which is linked in our site, and it's on the front of the library's website as well. So, get going on that. Figure out your topic, do some research, and it's fine to go do some preliminary research and then refine your topic. You may find that you want to shift gears a little bit, and that's okay. That's part of the research process. So for the observation itself, if you go the observation route, you need to do a focused, unbiased observation. Don't observe your own kids. Don't observe the people in your household. Don't observe at work. You need a time and a place that you can go sit and observe undisturbed with anything else. You have to also not interact with your subjects. You have to blend in and not be creepy. You can't be sitting over there like peeking over and staring at people. You don't want to do that. Don't be creepy. Make sure that whatever you're doing is safe as well. So, and I mean that not just in the time of COVID. Like, don't put yourself in any kind of a bad situation. So it's often helpful to observe situations you're not familiar with, because you can be an unbiased observer. So if you go to a place that you go to all the time, you've got to figure out how to look at that with new eyes. You've got to figure out how to look at it differently. So you will want a focused, short amount of time. Don't plan to carry out a 3-hour observation. You can't sustain the attention. You're going to get too many results. It's going to be too much to handle. So I would pick, like maybe a 15 to 20 minute time where you can sit down and look for particular things. Okay, it's good to focus. You may find some things in your observation that you weren't expecting, and that's fine. That can be a nice little outgrowth that you'll talk about. So for the study proposal, you may want to do more research than someone carrying out an observation, because you're going to have to figure out how to design a study. So you will need to figure out who the study will be carried out on, how those participants would be found, how the study would be structured, how the data would be collected. You have to be very thorough with either of these options and very precise. So when we talk about creating an MRAD report, MRAD format, you have your introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So when you talk about your methods, you have to say exactly what you did or exactly what will be done in the study. Not, I carried out my observation at a coffee shop, but I was at the Starbucks on Horner Boulevard in Sanford on Friday afternoon from 3:30 to 4 o'clock, sitting by the front door. So you have to be very specific, very precise. You don't say that you observed a lot of people in your results. You state in the results exactly what you saw. You present your data there. In the discussion section, you can talk about your data. In the results section, you are presenting the data you found. So why is all this stuff so important? Why is it so prescriptive? When you do these studies, and they're published, other people are going to want to confirm that your findings are accurate and that they can be replicated. This is especially important in the sciences, but others will try to replicate studies to get additional data to confirm the results. This stuff matters. So we are going to be talking a lot about precision and organization, making sure the information is clear, it's correct, it's concise, and it's in the right spots. So, feel like I said a lot there. You probably need some time to digest that. So what we have coming up this week, you've got the library tutorials that are designed to help you with finding sources and using them correctly. We have the inquisitive activities. I've got some refresher stuff on APA for you. I hope that will be helpful. You have your checkpoint, and I encourage you to get started on your draft this week. So you'll notice that's not a lot to turn in, but you have a good amount to do. For those of you who like to work ahead, this is a really good opportunity for you to do that. If you have questions as you're doing that, please let me know. I'm happy to meet with you. I've heard from several of you in the past week about the observation report and about some course things generally. Glad that you're communicating. That's wonderful. So, then next week is when you will want to make sure you have your observation plan underway. We'll have some discussion posts for you to post about your plan and get feedback. I will, of course, be around to help you, and you will finish the literature review and submit it by October 7th. So that is the deal. I will go ahead and mention that I will be out of the office from Friday, October 8th through Tuesday, October 12th. Our fall break is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, October 11th through 13th. So I will be out of the office and unavailable those few days, but I'll be back in on the 13th. So I won't be gone too long, but I did want to give you a heads up. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week. If you need help, if you have questions, if there's something you want me to cover in a video or something you want me to go further in depth on, please let me know. I'm happy to do it. You all take care, keep being awesome, and I'll be back with another video next week.